I left in my 29-foot Class C motorhome from Georgia 8 months ago to quote-unquote go out west. Well, I'm about to arrive in that RV. I'm about to arrive out west. I can't believe it. Hello, New Mexico! Often when I reach a new place, a new state, a new country, just like in sailing, I seek a safe and predictable place to arrive first. No surprise, it's water. This is actually across the street from the Elks Club in Carlsbad, New Mexico. I'd be able to explore BLM land here for my first time. A nice, safe place for a woman to be by herself. So after driving my car the 20 minutes south from Carlsbad and deciding Chosa BLM campground would be the kindest to my rig, I drove the RV down there and took a nice private corner spot in a huge lot. No facilities besides a dumpster, but that was fine. I'm fully equipped to boondock in my RV. It was a beautiful location, close to 2 national parks, both Carlsbad Caverns National Park and Guadelupe Mountains National Park. And it was free for 14 days. Waking up. I think it's time. The sun is coming up. It's time for some coffee. Coffee time. So I was eager to visit my first national park, Carlsbad Caverns National Park, just 7 miles away. So I got there early with entrance reservations at opening, and wow, what a feeling. It felt like I had finally arrived to do what I had set out to do, visit the beautiful national parks of my own country. I've seen so much of the world. Now it's time for the good old US of A. So there are 2 ways into Carlsbad Caverns. Walk down a mile or so, or take an elevator down. I wanted to go down there gradually to realize just how far down it was. I can't believe it, I'm at Carlsbad Caverns. Carlsbad Caverns National Park in New Mexico. Carlsbad, New Mexico. And I am going, follow the edge here, I'm going down into that cave, right there. Cool, huh? I'm doing it. It's getting dark. I probably should have brought a flashlight. I suppose I have my phone, but anyways, it's getting dark. I'll go down into this little spot down here. I mean, they are show caves. There's going to be light, surely. Or is this going to be the last light? I have seeked out caves all over the world when I was sailing. Patrick never much cared for the caves, but I just love them for whatever reason. Luckily, there were lights in many places, but I just could not capture the essence of these caves. They were huge and fairy tale-like. New Mexico calls itself the Land of Enchantment. I think much of it must have come from these caves. I went back probably 5 or 6 different days to hike the miles upon miles of trails in these caves. It was naturally cool down there during the heat of the day, and I welcomed the exercise and the cool down. But most of all, the sheer beauty of the place, and more so even, how this land of enchantment made me feel. Much of it was joy, but also a sadness that I was seeing it all by myself. My memories of it will not include a special person I saw it with, but rather how alone I feel to live each day of my enchanted life. I managed to get on a last-minute tour one of the days I was there. Even in this very low season, it's hard to get on a tour if you don't book it in advance. Well worthwhile to know what you're looking at, how all the formations were formed, with the help of a park ranger that's trained in this kind of thing. I mean, it's quite a miracle, these walkways that the workers have built over the decades that the park's been open for. They make it possible for us to see so many amazing labyrinths. But the ranger told us that what we see here is only but a very small percentage of the cave systems in the Guadalupe Mountains. Only something like 5% or less of the caves are open to the public or even to scientists. Imagine the first people to enter these caves and to find just how extensive they are. They didn't have any lights like we have today either. Or a tour guide.
This iron-rich layer is the closest to the ceiling. That makes it the oldest piece of the bacon. So however many years ago this bacon started forming, there was a lot more iron in the water here in the cave.
Is there a frying pan anywhere?
So this formation, when it was originally found, was known as the Eternal Kiss, as the first person to discover it saw what they thought to be two lovers locked in embrace.
There were pools of water in many locations inside, but alas we learned, no, it wasn't springs. There's no natural water source in the cave whatsoever. It's simply runoff from the man-made structures above it. The visitor center, for example, complete with bathrooms. So if you get lost or stuck in the caves, don't drink the water. You will be sick for a long time. So the drive up and down to the caves each day was steep but beautiful. My car showed terrible gas mileage on the way up, but on the way down, 150 miles to the gallon was very typical. Simply because it was straight down. So I decided to go down to Guadelupe Mountain National Park in the south. Nestled right up into the mountains, it likely has cave systems still undiscovered. There are many beautiful hiking trails with not many people around. I'm driving my car down this road to get into a trailhead to go hiking for the afternoon. So I'm hiking somewhere around here. I'm supposed to find a little trail. Ah, there's the trail. Oh, it looks like I'll have the companionship of this little guy too, if he doesn't run away. I'm almost to Smith Spring. Hope I have anyway. So it's really about a 2-mile loop trail to Smith Springs, but it's said to be quite steep in parts, and well, it's a bit warm here. But wow, so beautiful. Water is a scarcity in this place, but I'm hiking to these springs that are reported to be oases of cool water in the dry desert at the base of these beautiful mountains. Just came from there. So this nice little oasis, as they call it. Very pretty. Really glad that I made it. And now I have to go back down. Hopefully I don't have to go up at all anymore because I'm pooped. I'm hungry. Banana doesn't cut it. So I'm here hiking. Here's a long ways up. I'm at Smith Springs in Guadalupe Mountain National Park. Came up from Chosa Campground where I'm camping on BLM land. And you know, I'm not sure if I'm safe hiking around in these mountains by myself, but I'm here, I'm by myself, and I'm not gonna not do it just because I'm afraid. If that's how I die, that's how I die. The gray clouds are moving in, so the storm is coming that they were talking about, so I better get skedaddling down the hill. I don't hear thunder yet, but they said if I hear thunder, skedaddle, but I don't really skedaddle, so I've got to start skedaddling before I hear thunder. So I'd rather die from something that I've done than die from boredom from something I didn't do. So hiking by myself, storm coming in a couple hours, got to get down the mountain now, and hell, if I die, at least I died doing something instead of doing nothing. So I've reached the bottom of the trail. My car is right around the corner, but they were right. Bad weather is definitely heading in. 2 miles, it's not that much, right? But I think it's about as much as I can do, at least right now. I haven't hiked for a long time. I haven't been to places with mountains for a really long time. I really want to go to Carlsbad Caverns again one more time before I leave here and go to White Sands National Park. But I found a problem underneath the car. So I have scoured my RV and found my trusty bundle of wire from the old boat. And I'm going to do what I can do with this muffler. It looks like the wires that were holding it up before, that somebody used to hold it up before, have all rotted, so it's broken. So that's what I've heard sort of rattling for the last like 100 or 200 miles and haven't been able to figure it out. It's the muffler pipe about to fall off. So I am going to go under there and tie it up like the previous owner did and keep it going for a little while longer. I imagine I'll probably need a new tailpipe one of these fine days. Ah, the joy. So these are the 5 or 6 wires that were holding up the end of the tailpipe and are now rotten. Looks like this thing is broken off too, but at least it's a semi-clean break. Wonder if that does anything besides just make it quieter. If anybody knows, leave it in the comments below. Maybe I should snip these off since they aren't doing anything. Where's my snipper? There. And I guess I should get these off too. Okay, those are gone. So we're gonna go through this little connection. Let me put a little bend right there so that it's like bent like that, so it'll go through nice and easy. Okay, so that's through. And then let's go through here. Just barely long enough, but hey. Okay, so I'm gonna twist that. Make that as tight as you can, Rebecca. So that wasn't too bad of a job at all, and I think we're good for a while to come. So now what I'm concerned about is I come down and look at my dualies and like, I don't know if there's any space between that. It looks like a little bulge in the tire there, so I might roll a little bit forward and just see if I still have a bulge there or if there's just a bulge there in my tire or what the scoop is, but I'm not pleased to see that. I'm gonna see if it's on the other side too. See that? It's not cool. So I'm gonna go look at the other side here and see if the same thing, look at that, the same thing. Same thing. Is that supposed to be that way? That's weird. I feel my hands. I guess I don't have to go illusion. So to make sure my new tires were not going to become my old tires, I left and detoured way up to Roswell, New Mexico, where Discount Tire is. Discount Tire is where I brought my new tires from in Louisiana just a few months ago, so I would hope that they would take a look and make sure everything was going to be okay since they guaranteed them. I wasn't thrilled with their answer though. Their only assurance was that if they hadn't blown out yet, they likely wouldn't in the future either, and sent me on my way. Do you think they were right? Subscribe now to watch what happens ahead when I get to the next state, Colorado. I found Dog Canyon dispersed camping to be peaceful and the changing colors at every sunset to be so awe-inspiring. How could this beautiful spot be free for 14 days? Honestly, I really felt like I found my groove here, content and peaceful being alone, not afraid, not even that lonely. But at the same time, I do wish there were some single RVers nearby to share a campfire with or a meal with, but say goodbye to at the end of each day, coming back to my comfortable, cozy home to go to bed at my own time and wake up at my own whim. So the next day, I headed down in my car to nearby White Sands National Park.
You think I was at the beach, especially with the noisy people, but I'm actually in the middle of the desert at White Sands National Park.
I think this being my 3rd national park in just over a month, that my yearly America the Beautiful pass has now paid for itself.
It's closed because of some Air Force crash in the dunes, so we can only go 3 miles in. This is 3 miles in.
So now with past breaking even, the next 10 and a half months of national parks are basically free. Yay! It reminds me a lot of Namibia sand dunes in Africa, or even just the dunes of Cape Cod near where I grew up. Very pretty. But I was eager to get back to the mountains, so back to the mountains I went.
It's a nice place to have my coffee this morning. There's an old railroad that used to bring people up the mountain to Cloudcroft for a holiday or fixing of their tuberculosis or other maladies, illnesses. And you'll see way off in the distance there that white. If I was on a boat or at the coast, I would almost think it was the ocean, but it's White Sands National Park. Amazing that you can see it all this way. The OSHA Trail in the Sacramento Mountains, Lincoln State Park or something like that. But anyway, going for a little hike. I'm not even sure if I'm at the start of the trail yet, and I'm already huffing and puffing, but I am at 8,000 feet, so look at that, the moon coming up over the mountain. So beautiful, so clear.
So after a beautiful last night, I left the next morning up from Dog Canyon to Santa Fe. I again went to the Elks Lodge in Santa Fe to boondock right close to everything. I stayed there more than a week, biking distance to everything, including the historic section of town. Safe and even social, and the price was right at $10 a night. Met a lot of nice people here and had a very comfortable, peaceful stay. I even took some side trips here, and I'll show you in a minute this awesome place that I went to. So downtown historic Santa Fe with its Native American culture, traditional homes that are actually extremely expensive now, mixed with modern culture too. Other bits of beautiful old architecture and churches. And some great restaurants, including famous New Mexico cuisine, like this New Mexican chili verde soup that was wow. Even some Spanish music. So after a little bit of city life, which don't get me wrong, I love mixing it up. I love some street-side cafes, some live music, and great meals out. But just as much I love getting back out to see some great nature, and Bandelier National Monument, an hour west of Santa Fe, complete with amazing and beautiful scenery along the way, did not disappoint.
We're going to go up a 140-foot vertical ascent. Let's do it. I don't have any health problems or fear of heights. So I just got up to the top. Bandelier State Park. We just climbed 140 feet up. I say we, me.
Wish that I could stay in this moment forever, so I can hold you in my arms. I will carry you on my shoulder.
Be nice and heading down. Bandelier National Monument. This wasn't even on my list of places to go, but sometimes when you go, you just find places along the way to see. And now I've got the place to myself. All alone up here. All alone. So, I've got to go down there soon, but I'm going to soak it up here and by myself. How many opportunities does one get to be by themselves? Up in this ancient dwelling of Pueblo people, ancestral Pueblo people. It looks so easy coming up, but going down, check this out. Not as easy going down. Down, down, down. Wish me luck. So I'm going down. One-handed nonetheless, I'm going down. There we go. There's another one to go down.
My nini wa ye kani, my nini wa ye kani, my nini wa ye.
So if I haven't been missing Africa, well, now I am. My new friends in Santa Fe, as earthy as they come, invited me to some music at their home and dinner afterwards. Check out this beautiful home and yard. True old world charm and hospitality. They're making it really hard to live in Santa Fe. I could actually see myself staying here. I mean, this is sheer joy. These new friends in Santa Fe will remain in my heart forever. And Kermit, well, it's a small world. He's a sailor too, with a very kind offer for me to help him launch his boat, a Catalina 27, the same kind of boat Patrick circumnavigated in over 40 years ago. Sometime in the future, on the Sea of Cortez, where I've wanted to sail for a very, very long time. But for now, onwards I go, up to Colorado. And when I say up, I really mean up. In Colorado, well, this is where my trouble begins. Make sure to subscribe to see my next adventures and my misadventures too. I really like this RV GPS because it tells me the elevation. As I'm going, I can see what I have up ahead. And so far, I don't know if you can see it, but I'm where the blue line is, and then the red lines are going down. My current elevation is 9493, and it looks like it goes to about 10,300 or something. So I have another 700 or 800 feet to go up. Gosh, I hope this thing is gonna hold out and make it up. Oh gosh.